Haney firing on all cylinders now.
I wanted kids to beat him up because I didn't want to go to jail because he was bad as
Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the skill, the highly regarded, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney.
During your last post-fight interview on your last fight, you had a hit list. So you called out everybody. You know, we could go through the list, but my main point is you said that you would love to fight Gervonta, but Floyd Mayweather is too smart. He won't make that fight. Then I believe a year or a half a year later, Floyd Mayweather came out after your saga with Gervonta, training with Floyd. He came out and said you guys will never fight each other because you only got one more fight at the lightweight division and you have to move up in weight. So my question to you is, what's your take on what Floyd Mayweather said? Are you having a hard time making weight, or he's just saying that because he doesn't want the Gervonta versus Devin Haney fight right now?
I got a fighter, one of the best fighters out there today, Gervonta Tank Davis. Right. You know, I got it when he was young. I put him in a position. Now he's 3-time world champion. And it's another little kid that came up in my gym, that grew up in my gym, Devin Haney. So he's with another promotional company, but he's still a young black kid that's trying to become the next Floyd Mayweather or surpass Floyd Mayweather. So with me giving him pointers, once again, you got the media, those other people saying, want me to bump heads with these young kids, and I'm not going to do that.
Tank is not fighting. Devin Haney is only fighting one more fight at 135. He's going to 140. Gervonta Davis fights at 130. All I'm doing is helping a young black kid become successful.
I mean, you know, Floyd was speaking for himself right there. That wasn't something that Devin Haney said. I always stress this time and time again that I will stay at 135 for the big fights. You know, if it's a big fight, of course I'll stay at 135. And there's so many big fights to be made. If not, then I'll move up to 140. 135 is not easy for me to make. And I said this time and time again. I'm only getting bigger. My body's only maturing. But for the big fights and, you know, obviously the big money, I'll sacrifice and stay at 135.
Right. So, in your opinion, if Gervonta wants to fight like you do, can he tell Floyd Mayweather to make the fight happen, or you think Floyd just doesn't want it at all because he know what you're capable of? Or do you think if Gervonta requests the fight, then Floyd will make it happen?
Precedent that the fight could be made. If he pressed for it to happen, like I'm pressing for it to happen, you know, we the fighters. At the end of the day, we got to say in our careers, we can make these fights happen. All that old across the street, all that old shit, that shit is non-existent. We can make these fights happen. Us fighters, we call the shots in reality.
Right. You post on IG a meme of the duck tree, and you had Gervonta Tank Davis on it, and he got asked about that. He stated that you a clout baby. So what you got to say to that?
I mean, at the end of the day, if Tank was to fight me, I'd be his biggest fight to date. I'd be his biggest fight, just like he would be mine. If Tiafimo, I would be his biggest fight. Ryan, all these guys, if they were to fight me, I would be their biggest fight up to date. So how am I looking for clout? At the end of the day, I'm not looking for clout. I'm trying to make big fights happen, and that's what the thing is. I can see if I was a guy that was, you know, not in the not even the top 10, not even in the top 5, not even world champion. You know what I'm saying? Where it would make no point to even fight me. Then I would say, oh yeah, that nigga looking for clout. But in our reality, the fans want these fights to happen. These are huge fights. How the fuck am I looking for clout when I'll be your biggest fight to date? you will make more money with me than you ever made in your career up to date. So how does clout chasing? It's not like I'm not an unworthy opponent.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, it will be called clout chasing if you don't want the fight once you get a contract, you know.
Yeah.
But if you calling somebody out and you really want the fight, then that's not clout chasing. That's just you wanting to make the big fight. So what was your take on Mike Tyson telling Gervonta that you, Shakur, Gervonta need to all fight each other? And he told Gervonta that he would love to see him versus you. What was your take on the jewels that Mike Tyson dropped on Gervonta?
I sparred him when he was younger. We both was younger. Taxed him up a little bit.
What do you think about Shakur Stevenson and Haney?
They both good young fighters.
You ever spar with them before?
Yeah, I sparred with Shakur for my fight for my first title shot. I sparred with Shakur. I sparred with Devin too.
Y'all got spectacular guys in the division to fight. Y'all guys should be able to make a lot of money in 2 years, huh?
Yeah, hopefully. If we all, fight each other.
Y'all got to make a pact to fight each other. Listen, know what about fighters? Fighters are friends. If you're a fighter friend, you help them make some money, right? Your guys should come up with some conclusion and don't let your managers, y'all can say that let's make a fight. And then that's when your lawyers come in.
Yeah, but none of them are my friends. I don't have friends in boxing.
I know, well, negotiate a deal.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Two black men should be able to have a conversation about business and not be fighting with one another.
Yeah, you're right.
This age, this is how we have to handle business now.
Yeah.
We have to be civilized.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think that Tyson was the only person that was able to, stand up to Tank and tell him and not give a fuck what Tank had to say, or how he felt about him telling him the truth, that he actually wants to see these fights. It felt like everybody else was scared. Everybody else scared to say it, but Mike was the first person to actually stand up and say, hey, nah, you need to make these fights happen. This is a fight. I'm interested in seeing it.
Right. When you think it's realistic for the fight to get made? When you think it's gonna get made, if it's gonna get made?
I don't even know, to be honest. I really couldn't even tell you when it would happen or when it would be realistic, because only time will tell. We don't know when. We're not in negotiations or nothing like that. We haven't talked about it, so I couldn't even tell you.
Right, but man, that's a big fight. It does need to happen. The world want to see that fight. It's between Floyd Mayweather prodigies, and we must find out the one. You obviously pushing for the fight, so hopefully that's a fight that's gonna happen. Hopefully the fans won't miss out on a great fight like this between two great champions. Now, it's been a lot said about your infamous sparring with Gervonta ever since you guys blew up on the scene. That's been the topic of conversation. There's a lot have been said. So can you break down what really happened? Because there's always two sides to every story. So can you tell us what really happened?
It really hasn't even been two sides to the story, because we only heard my side. Like it's a secret. Like they don't even want to talk about it. When they just say that they sparred me, but they never say what happened, or they never say, they never say nothing on their side. Only people that we hear from is the and Devin Haney's the only person that's talking. So, it's obvious to what really happened, what went down, or why they want to keep it a mystery. Because just like when he did an interview with Mike Tyson, and he said, Mike Tyson said, have you sparred Teofimo? And he said, yeah, I just touched him up a little bit, or some shit he said, or whatever. But he never said nothing about sparring Devin Haney. He never said what he did when he sparred Devin Haney, because in all reality, we know what happened. And that's all that really need to be said about that situation, because, I done spoke on it time and time again, but I'm done speaking on it. Let's make it realistic, and let's make a fight happen. Because we could talk about all day, but I'm ready to fight.
During that time, a lot of information came out on the sparring. I think Gervonta did come out and say something around the line, or his team, Gervonta was taking it easy on you.
Even heard that, but it was doghouse rules. It was fight to the finish, fight to whoever quit first. And me, you gonna kill me.
Who quit?
You gonna have to kill me before I quit, and I'm still alive. So that don't even tell you one thing.
You guys heard it. Let's make it a reality, because, you know, anything could happen in sparring, and Devin wanted to show that it wasn't a fluke, you know, that he could perform fight night as well under the bright light.
Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.